Welcome to another FlexiTools sewing instruction video. My name is Graham and I'm going to be showing you how to prep a machine out of the box today. Make sure that you have the box with the lid side up, otherwise everything will fall on the floor. That is how the machine looks once you take it out of the box. I normally put the tripod supports back in, and then these are some of the tools that I use in the solvents, liquids, etc. to clean the machine. I raise the needle so that I can lift the cover plate, and then once I lift the cover plate it allows me to be able to get in to remove the shuttle gear and the bobbin. So I use a tweezer to get these things out. They can be a little bit sticky. You just got to persevere and wiggle them out. You need to remove these parts because they are very dirty when they come from the factory, and they will affect your sewing if they're not cleaned correctly, especially the little small parts of it. When I'm finished removing these parts, I move to the crank. I give this a good wipe down using either alcohol or thinners, especially the outer rim, which affects the bobbin winder, which is rubber and catches on that surface. I then move to wipe the machine itself down. I wipe all the exposed surfaces so that I can handle the machine without my hands getting dirty as I work with the machine going forward. I also clean those little parts that I've removed, including removing the spring, the little leaf spring with its screw. Make sure when you clean that little leaf spring you don't bend it, otherwise the spring will lose its tension on the thread and it'll become ineffective. I use grease on these machines in every place that I can. I only use oil in a couple of little places because grease I find is far easier to work with and it lasts far longer. My goal is to get grease on as many of the hard-working parts as possible, including these bearings at the back. And then I move onto the arm which drives the shuttle gear, and this is a very hard-working and hard-wearing part. Sometimes it's quite stiff. You can use a spanner or a hammer or a wrench to just get it moving a little bit, and then once I've done that I get grease onto the surfaces which are in motion. You can see I move them back and forth a little bit. Once I've got the arm moving a little bit, I'll pull it down so that the front sticks out so that I can grease the end, both the top and the bottom of it, and then I'll push it back so that the front of the arm is level with the front of the arm housing. The arm which raises and lowers the walking foot is a heavy wearing part, and so I put some grease between the arm and the frame of the machine. When you retighten the arm nut, you should check on the other side of the machine for the corresponding nut, because that will come loose, and you need to make sure that that is tight, and then you will adjust both sides so that the arm can be raised and lowered comfortably without being too tight or too soft. You'll get the feel of that. I lightly grease the tension springs and then move to the front of the machine, where I grease the barrel of the walking foot as well as the needle arm where it goes into that barrel. I want all those surfaces turning smoothly and well lubricated. I then move to the parts that use oil. You put a drop of oil in that hole, and then these two holes on the top, the one at the rear, that hole there, you use a drop of oil, and then also very lightly oil the cover plate where it travels on top of the extension housing so that that travels smoothly and well lubricated. I then lubricate the crank by putting a little bit of grease on all the wear surfaces. The machine is now lubricated and prepped. Please note that for the reinstallation of these parts I have separate videos. I also have a separate video which will show how to mount the machine now on a table and install the crank. Thanks for watching.